Please welcome Kenichiro Yoshida.
Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us in our booth here at CES 2019. And welcome also to those of you who are watching this live across the globe. It's a great honor for me to be here and talk to you this evening. At CES, technologies such as AI, autonomous driving, and 5G usually take center stage. People gather here to talk about how those technologies can be used to improve our lives or make our lives easier. We at Sony are working on those important technologies too. But today, I'd like to shift gears a little and talk about technologies that empower people's creativity. Creativity, when combined with technology, brings about amazing content and entertainment that touch people's hearts and enrich people's lives. Sony is a creative entertainment company. We at Sony partner with content creators who make the music, the movies, the television shows, and the games that engage billions of eyes and ears and minds around the world. And our Sony branded hardware help create and distribute that entertainment so that people can experience it when, where, and how they want. At this year's CES, we'd like to showcase how Sony's professional-grade products support creators across the entertainment industries to produce compelling content. And we'll also see how our consumer products connect creators and users by enabling people to enjoy content at the highest possible quality. When creators and users are connected at the deep emotional level, a community of interest comes to life. One of the biggest communities of interest associated with Sony is, of course, PlayStation. Today, I am proud to share with you that PlayStation 4 has sold more than 5 million units this holiday season. The cumulative sell-through since its launch has reached over 91 million units worldwide. Sony Interactive Entertainment is connecting game creators with one of the largest and most passionate gamers communities in the world. We are very fortunate to continue our partnerships with a number of outstanding third-party game creators, ranging from AAA titles to indie games. Additionally, we are delivering best-in-class award-winning titles such as Marvel's Spider-Man, God of War, and Gran Turismo. Our direct-to-consumer service, PlayStation Network, has a highly engaged community of over 90 million monthly active users. Now, let me play a video that shows you why PlayStation is the best place to play.
I met this shy boy, cute as hell, and grabbed him by the hand. He pulled me back, I asked what's wrong, he said, oh, I can't dance. I said, that's fine, just keep in time and show off what you got. If you mess up, boy, I won't mind as long as you don't stop. Oh, nah, nah, don't stop. Don't stop.
something that big.
Even if you can't dance, just hold my hips while I roll my hips. Even if you can't dance, I'll handle it. Follow me and don't stop. Even if you can't dance, don't stand and watch while I make it hot. Even if you can't dance, I'ma make it hot. Follow me and don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep your eyes on me. Singing, I'ma teach you a lesson. You just gotta move in my direction. Keep your eyes on me. Being all anxious ain't an option. Baby, I ain't got no plans to stop it. No, don't stop. Don't stop. Even if you can't dance, just hold my hips while I roll my hips. Even if you can't dance, I'll handle it. Follow me and don't stop. Even if you can't dance, don't stand and watch while I make it hot. Even if you can't dance, I'ma make it hot. Follow me and don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Can't dance, babe. Said I got it, babe. No, 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 no. Don't stop. Don't stop.
PlayStation.
I hope you heard the excitement that members of the PlayStation community share. Communities, by the way, can also be formed around our hardware product. For instance, there is an enthusiastic community of professional and aspiring photographers around our alpha cameras. In this community, the users are the creators. We also have a community around Aibo, and they will be celebrating Aibo's first birthday in just a few days. Now let me invite my colleagues from Sony Pictures and Sony Music. They will share how our technology and products help to turn creators' vision into reality. First is Tom Rossman from Sony Pictures Entertainment. Tom, please join me on stage.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm delighted to be here to represent Sony Pictures. As some of you may know, Sony Pictures Entertainment, the corporate company, includes both film and television production. I run the film side. My counterpart, Mike Hopkins, is here somewhere on the television side. And as Yoshida-san pointed out, Sony's vision is to be a creative entertainment company, creating and maximizing communities of interest. Well, to do that, you need to have not only outstanding technology, but strong entertainment content and lasting intellectual property, which we call IP for short, that goes with it. For the last few years, one of our top priorities at Sony was building on our existing IP and creating new franchises for those communities of interest, and I'm proud to say that we have made real and tremendous progress. Specifically recently, with recently released or planned coming entries for some of our most successful franchises. Films like Jumanji, Equalizer 2, A New Men in Black coming this summer, Goosebumps, Charlie's Angels, and in particular, I want to talk today quite a bit about animation. Animation has been hugely successful for us in leveraging our IP. We've had 3 Hotel Transylvania films, which are now more than $1 billion franchise worldwide. We have a sequel to our very successful hybrid film, Peter Rabbit, that actually starts shooting in Australia next week. And of course, a movie in current release, which I hope if you've been paying attention you've seen or heard about, and that is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, Spider-Verse represents not only a quite innovative and spectacular work of animation in its own right, but it's a perfect example of how strong IP can be leveraged and expanded into new content, new formats, and exploited on multiple platforms. And I'm proud to say that as of last night, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the pride of Dartmouth College and the producers of Spider-Verse, are now Golden Globe winners for the Best Animated Film of the Year. And luckily, a little later on this afternoon, we're going to hear from Chris and Phil about how they created this first of its kind, entirely new and original work. But with respect to the underlying IP, it's worth knowing that today, only the Disney company and Sony, these are the only two companies on earth that now have the rights to make film or television content based on the enormously popular Marvel characters. Last year's terrific success of Spider-Man Homecoming with Tom Holland opened the door to myriad opportunities for us. Venom, which had record-breaking success this fall, the animated Spider-Verse, which we're going to talk a lot about today, and then this coming July, we have a sequel to Homecoming. But there are multiple other films now in pre-production featuring other characters from our universe of hundreds of Marvel characters. And there is, of course, the phenomenally successful PlayStation Spider-Man game that launched to record-breaking numbers this fall. When my boss, Tony Vinciquerra, took over Sony as chairman and CEO about a year and a half ago, he said that one of the things that drew him to the studio was its connection to the broader Sony businesses, specifically the distinct creative advantages and opportunities that come from being so closely aligned to a company renowned for its visionary and innovative technology. And I can tell you that I see that marriage between technological innovation and creativity playing out every day in two profound ways all across the studio. First, in the tech that's used in the creation or the production of our content, and second, in the delivery of that content to our audiences. In terms of production, there's a lot of Sony technology across the breadth of the studio at every stage. I was watching out of the corner when you all were coming in, and I hope you saw the clip with Jim Cameron talking about the Venice camera. You know, some of you may know this, but Jim and I actually worked together on two of the biggest movies of all time, Titanic and Avatar. So I know Jim quite well. And I am not overstating when I say that Jim is one of the greatest and most innovative filmmakers of our time. But he is also among the most meticulous. He is devoted to excellence in all that he does. And Jim's use of the Venice camera speaks volumes to the quality of that product. If it were not the best, Jim Cameron would not use it. And we, fortunately, are using it as well. At this time, we have 8 productions on the TV side using the Venice camera. Each are visually dynamic in their own way, and that dynamism is increased by the use of the Venice camera. On the film side, we've used various Sony tech, including Sony's professional cinema camera, the F55, the Alpha 9, which is a compact, lightweight, full-frame mirrorless camera, and the Alpha 7S Mark II. We also use the ultra-compact, robust RX0 camera. Going just a little further back, Ang Lee's revolutionary hyper-realistic visuals in Billy Lynn's halftime walk were only made possible by use of the Sony F65. Last fall, we released the first studio movie to shoot primarily on the Alpha 7S Mark II with Hawk anamorphic lenses. So we use and exploit the latest in Sony technology throughout the creation of our content. But that technology is also playing a significant role in our post-production activities. The quality of that tech is central to what we're here to talk about today, creating and delivering high-quality content for audiences to enjoy as the creators of that content intended it to be seen. As to the delivery of the content, well, as those of you, even if your most specialty is consumer electronics, I'm sure know, the motion picture business has been going through a substantial transition. The way people consume our content has changed. But we at Sony remain firm believers in the theatrical experience, the in-theater experience, and we will always be so. Having said that, however, a critical part of the lifespan of movie content is the home entertainment window following its theatrical run. And audiences watching great film and television content at home want the best possible home theater experience, especially when that content is as extraordinary, visually stunning, and technically advanced as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Returning to that film to give you a little more insight into much of the groundbreaking activity that made it possible, it's a real pleasure for me to introduce to the stage the president of Sony Pictures Animation. This woman has overseen the pioneering work done there and has been instrumental in bringing this fabulous film to audiences. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my colleague, Christine Belson.
Everybody, thank you, Tom. So right now, industry-wide, animation is experiencing a true golden age because ever since the computer animation revolution began nearly 25 years ago, animated storytelling keeps rapidly evolving, and all these recent technological advancements have allowed filmmakers to express their vision in new and previously impossible ways. And when you look at a film like Spider-Verse, you can't help but to be blown away by its innovative style, its so bold, its vibrant beauty. And of course, the in-home experience is as critical as theatrical, especially with our animated movies, which generally enjoy a long life in the home entertainment window. So it's truly so important to filmmakers and audiences that a display device can faithfully reproduce images with every detail intact, the full range of colors, that full range of brightness and darkness, so that it really, really resonates. We all want these devices that support the storytelling and deliver on the visual and the emotional experience that creators like Chris and Phil intended. And Sony's television products and technology, like the new 8K and OLED Bravia Master Series, can really, really enhance that experience, all of which in turn expands the possibilities of the range of our creations. Sony Pictures has been collaborating since 2000 with Sony's TV engineers on the TV picture mode developed for a deeply satisfying home theater experience. And the team also worked closely together to promote 4K HDR filmmaking, which is another tool that can dramatically expand the range of potential creative expression. Bravia Master Series televisions deliver nearly the same level of quality as the professional-grade monitors we use in production, providing super accurate reproduction of picture with every detail as intended. And again, for us, the goal is use technology not only to support creators in their storytelling, but to help them expand the possibilities of their storytelling and to have viewers immerse themselves even more deeply into these wonderful stories. At Sony Pictures Animation, we intentionally do not have a specific house style like some animation studios do. With each movie, our filmmakers create a unique, distinctive film that reflects their personal vision. And on Spider-Verse, our creative guiding lights were Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Phil and Chris, along with our directors, Bob Persichetti, Peter Ramsey, and Rodney Rothman, and our animators and engineers at ImageWorks, dreamed up incredibly ambitious ideas for what this movie could be. we all saw this chance to bring Spider-Man to the screen in a way that harkened back to his comic book roots, yet was astonishingly fresh and cinematic. Now, to talk about their truly extraordinary film and the creative process that led to such a powerful connection with audiences around the world, please welcome Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Thank you, Christine. Hi, everybody. We are thrilled to get to talk to you guys about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
The reactions and response to this film have been incredible. We're super proud of what this entire team was able to accomplish creatively with this project.
Look, this was always about telling Miles Morales' story and giving audiences a film that they could connect with, that reflected the world that we all live in, that felt true to life, with a superhero that everybody can see themselves in.
You know, we're living in a peak superhero world, we all know it. So when we started out, we thought if we're gonna do another Spider-Man film, we had to figure out a way to make it feel fresh, new, and exciting.
So along with the movie's directors, we tried to figure out a way to do a never-before-seen visual style to tell this multi-layered narrative.
And as Christine mentioned, Spider-Verse looks very different from any other CG animated or even 2D movies you've seen in the past decade, as you can tell. Right behind us, that's because of the unique animation style and the new techniques that we used and made just for this movie.
You know, we believe really strongly that animation is a medium, it's not a genre, and it means we can tell all kinds of stories in all kinds of ways. That's why we really wanted to experiment with the look of the movie.
And what we came up with was something that combined various techniques like taking CG and finishing those frames with hand-drawn animation. It was really complicated and it took a lot of time. Normally an animator can do about 4 seconds of animation in a week. This movie, an animator could do 1 second of animation in a week.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Look, we had to teach the computer to do new things. We had to write all kinds of new software. Not personally, we're not good at that. But in order to make this movie look like this, all of these smart people had to write all kinds of new shaders, all kinds of new software, recreate the pipeline.
And you can really feel the hand of the artist evoking emotion through, and every frame is like a painting or a piece of art. And the human hand can convey emotions in a way that a computer can't.
Right, we wanted the audience to feel the tooth of the paper that the artists were drawing on. We wanted this film to communicate directly with them the way an artist does when you look at a painting.
From blending the styles of various different animation styles, each character comes from their own dimension and has their own art style that was authentic to them. It was sort of a tribute to the artists and animators that created them and allowed individuality of each character in each world.
So, you know, the film's theme is anyone can wear the mask, and that held true to the whole crew. We wanted people to try new things, take risks. There's no penalty for failing, and you know, because we needed to learn from one another. We needed to try new things, and that was the only way we were going to create anything new.
And it was a huge risk to take one of the studio's most valuable live-action franchises and make an animated movie, because some people still feel like animated movies are just for kids. But we really wanted to prove that animation is a hugely exciting area of filmmaking for all audiences, and we wanted to push the boundaries of what consumers think about when they think about what animation is.
So we want to give a huge thanks to Tom, Christine, and Sony for taking a ridiculous risk on these two turkeys, and we really appreciate their support for making the movie and allowing our team the freedom and the tools that they needed to do this in such an innovative way.
And we're going to hand it back to Tom now.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Don't be fooled by their unprepossessing nature. Those are two geniuses. We feel incredibly lucky to be working with them at Sony, and we've worked with them across a number of projects. But this, as was recognized by the Golden Globes last night, this is really, really special. So I thank you, Phil and Chris. Your success shows us exactly what pushing the boundaries can look like, and why we do it. So, as we look to the future, we will continue to explore new and innovative ways to create engaging and entertaining content and new ways to share it with our audiences. On the lot in LA, we recently launched, interestingly, a state-of-the-art facility called Innovation Studios to do just that. Earlier this year, the team there created a virtual set, and I've been in the movie business for 30 years and I've never seen this. They used it for Shark Tank, which our television group produces. And looking at it, the physical and the digital sets are nearly impossible to tell apart. It's quite revolutionary and can have real profound effects for the future. Scan sets, store them digitally, reuse them for future shoots, all without the usual space and location limitations. And we recently applied this same scanning technology to the sets in our current big budget Men in Black film, which we shot in London for release this summer. So that's just some of the future technology that awaits us all. But you can see how integrated it is into the content creation we do every day. And I want to thank you all for having me here today. It's been great fun. And now I get to hand it over to the really cool dudes at Sony. You know, the music guys are where it's happening. And it's my pleasure to introduce you, first a little video, and then my esteemed colleague from Sony Pictures Music, from Sony Music Entertainment, Mr. Rob Stringer.
Never easy following Spider-Man. So, having been at the company since Sony embarked together with us on their quest for a unique joint vision with technology and content in 1989, a long time ago, I've seen countless examples of where our global roster of over 2,000 artists and Sony technology combined to create a really powerful partnership that can definitely excite the consumer. In recent years, we have jointly presented the Lost in Music campaign, where we've introduced the world of the Sony brand with some of our hottest brand new artists. For example, in 2017, the Chainsmokers, who have so far streamed 25 billion tracks, helped us introduce PlayStation VR headsets. So I thought I'd show you today a brief video montage of Lost in Music and other collaborative campaigns where some of our most hot new artists promote their music through the power of Sony technology.
Make some noise for Sony right now if you had a good time.
If you can name all those artists, I will give you a pair of headphones. But one of the artists on that clip is a young man called Khalid, who has gone from being an unknown high school student in Texas to being in the top 10 streaming artists in the world in 2018, all promoting their music and the Sony brand. We're also working together very recently now on 360 reality audio, which is, the booth is right there, which I was in earlier today. This was announced today, and we're very excited to be partnering with 360 Reality Audio to elevate the listening experience for the consumer. The results, audio-wise and sonically, are truly spectacular, and we are now rolling out titles across our vast catalog. So whether it be brand new audio innovation, headphones, cameras, or gaming, the technological association with our music is organic, synergistic, and our consumers are clearly the same audience. At Sony Music Entertainment, we fully believe in Yoshida-san's vision of connecting users and creators. So a few weeks ago, we brought one of our most prestigious creators to Tokyo to see that vision at close hand in the home of the company. The purpose of this visit was to explore avenues of partnership between the Sony brand and the creator, and form a community of interest, as Yoshida-san stated earlier. The results were pretty remarkable, as that shared interest became clearly apparent, whether it be through Sony's brand new innovative technology that has not even been introduced to the world yet, to audio-visual processes that clearly enable the artist to communicate more effectively with their audience. And even to the level of being on the more humanistic and educational side of the Sony global vision, which will automatically be of interest to the artists who want to make the world a better place. The creator who visited Tokyo with me was Pharrell Williams, and here's a brief video presentation of our visit.
Hi. Hi. How are you? Cool. Super cool. So it's super impressive. I've been talking about this for like 5 years, trying to get people to understand like the value of this, and it's just, I mean, it would just be a crime if you guys don't end up doing it. This has to happen. Come on.
That was amazing.
You're right there, you're in the studio. Congrats, it's so cool. I want to do it.
So rather than me talking from the record company point of view, I thought it'd be good if Pharrell gave his own perspective on our groundbreaking visit. So please would you welcome producer, innovator, educator, entrepreneur, Sony Music recording artist, and true global cultural ambassador, Mr. Pharrell Williams.
Bouncing around, bouncing. Hey, keep asking me where I'm from. Hey, about the borders and did I run? Hey, keep asking how I feel about guns. There's a light and dark army, which side you choose on? Hey, if not now, then when? Hey, and if not me, then who? Hey, don't drink the Kool-Aid, my friends. Hey, I try to tell y'all about this dude. Bouncing around, bouncing around. Shout out to them people.
How you doing?
Can I just basically say that Pharrell was on holiday in Anguilla, and he's come here today and everything, and I was a little bit worried at 2 o'clock.
Oh, just tell him where I am right now.
If he was still on holiday in Anguilla, but he's here. So thank you for being here. That was a sort of seminal trip, so I thought it'd be good if you could share some of the wit and wisdom from our trip and how it relates to your overall vision.
Well, first of all, thank you for your belief and support in me. And thank you, everybody, for having me here. But as an artist, sorry. Rewind. Sorry. There we go. As an artist who creates music with the Sony Music family and also my delivery team, the very reason that I was in Japan, I was very excited to be in Tokyo because it's one of my favorite cities in the world. And mainly because I've been going there for like 20 years. And oftentimes we would always see, pause it for a second, please. We would, we'd often see the Sony building, and we'd see the Sony name, and I always wanted to have more of a connection with the brand. So I just want to say that. And so finally, when being able to go into the building, not just as an artist, but as a creator and as a guest, I didn't expect to see the incredible technology that we saw and have such a revelatory experience from beginning to end. The connection between me as a creator and the technological innovations that Sony is working on was super clear to me straight away, whether it be in the infinite field of audiovisual experience or in the realms of social and educational policy that attracted my attention, not only as an artist and an innovator, but also as a global citizen. I did not know that the company that, where we do music, and of course, we know the iconic Walkman, who knew that they were thinking about things and people in Africa, and issues, and I don't want to get in trouble by revealing too much, but it was just so mind-blowing. I felt like I left every meeting going, okay, but you guys are putting this out, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna make us wait like they're making us wait for the IBO. I mean, can we make some more of those, please?
Yes, we will.
So I experimented with and discussed so many different concepts with the various Sony divisions and shared my own ideas for future shared creations. And what I will say is, when I was in there, what I could not believe is everything there is created based on them asking future questions. What is it going to be like, and anticipating what the next questions are going to be. They're 4 and 5 and 6 steps ahead. So I just couldn't believe that I was literally walking around in all of these departments looking at future solutions and answers. So it was a very special few days for us, and I'm super excited to explore the endless possibilities that technology, and this Sony technology, can inspire and lead and create a connection between the user and the creator. I'm so sorry, I know there's a mouthful, but so much to say. It's a super impressive company to be with, and you guys are gonna see. And I have the IBO already.
Yeah. Yeah, if you couldn't get an IBO at Christmas, we managed to get Pharrell one, which would have been a bit weird if we hadn't, actually.
Yeah.
But he has his own IBO,
Yes.
who I understand is in Anguilla. You've left in Anguilla, so it's like stayed on the beach. Thank you very much, Pharrell. Pharrell, you're going to stick up here
Yes,
for a
sir.
second.
Yes, sir.
But we do believe that we, as the music company, have to get closer to the artists. We have to be closer to creators. And in turn, if we're close to creators, then Sony, as a whole brand, can be close to creators. And we believe that the Sony brand, with Sony Music, can excite artists and consumers alike, and that's our vision for our company. And as we move along in technology and all those various platforms, we want to get closer to the Sony brand. That's our vision. So I would like to invite Yoshida-san back to the stage.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
As you have seen, we at Sony are extremely honored to work closely with visionary creators like Pharrell, Phil, and Chris to help realize their creativity and connect with audiences. Sony's technology is used from content creation to the delivery of the craft in the highest possible quality to people across the globe. We partner with creators because we believe in their dreams to move people emotionally. And with our technology, Sony is also there to deliver the very best entertainment experience to fans and fill the world with emotions. We are, and we will continue to be, a creative entertainment company. built on the solid foundation of technology. I hope you enjoyed our presentation today. Once again, thank you for joining us this evening. Have a great CES and a wonderful 2019.